Hello, it's Kieran, aka the chocolate skinned Homo sapien. Hope you've missed me. I do hope you missed me. I'd like to think that you give the tiniest crap about the fact that I've not been here for a week. But I have been in Greece. In Athens, basically on holiday, and that's kind of the topic for today's Daily C. It's about the fact that the way you treat people really matters. It really does, and it comes back to affect you. Whether you treat people well, whether you treat them badly, whether or not you treat them indifferently, the way you treat the people around you, it comes back to affect you, and it really matters. Got a very good example. So, I have a girlfriend, and my girlfriend has a cousin. Cousin's name's Christina. Now, Christina, she doesn't have Netflix. And for some reason, a few months ago, I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's just create a profile on Netflix for Christina, let her use it. So for the past, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months, Christina has been using my Netflix account in Greece. This girl in Greece called Christina, who's the cousin of my girlfriend, has been using my Netflix account under her own profile. We created a profile for her called Christina the Malakas, and she's been using it. Malakasi means arsehole in Greek, but anyway, point is, she's been using this profile for months, and she was really blown away by it. Like, really blown away. She was like, oh my god, like, thank you so much, wow. Like, she almost cried when I gave her the password, which, I don't know, didn't really seem like a huge deal to me, but it really moved her. Anyway, so fast forward to the past week now when I go to Greece. And when I went to Greece, I didn't actually see Christina, but her mum was there. And I was staying with Christina's mum. Now, Christina's mum rolled out the red carpet for me. Like, she rolled out the red carpet. She was like, oh, get anything you want. Get anything you want. I could not spend any freaking money while I was in Greece. Like, I couldn't. And I mean that as well. I did not spend a penny. Like, I probably bought a solitary glass of wine or something. The woman paid for everything. She went shopping, she bought all of the food, she bought drinks and stuff. I didn't buy a single thing. But the thing is this, she made it very clear to me, very, very, very clear to me, that she wanted to look after me as much as freaking possible. Now I'm wondering why this is. Like, what the hell's actually going on? But then I remembered something. She has been speaking to her daughter and also her niece, who's my girlfriend, and they've been talking about me. And it's like, all of the good things that I have done, or have done, or had done, whatever, had done, have done, same difference. All of that stuff, like, it played into her liking me so much and wanting to do right by me when I came, you know? So, if I hadn't been so generous to give Christina that Netflix account, or if I hadn't treated my girlfriend as well as I have, then this wouldn't happen. But this is just basically what it's like in life, isn't it? It's like, when you treat people well, when you treat people badly, it affects it. So, like, let's just say you've got a mate, right? And you and this mate you're supposedly good friends or whatever, but every time you're supposed to meet this guy, like, you usually ring him with an excuse as to why you can't show. So it's like, hey, we're going to meet at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. Okay, great. And we're going to go clubbing. Well, not clubbing, we're going to go to the cinema. Yeah, sweet. And then at 4:15, you text him and say, sorry mate, I can't make it because of X, Y, and Z. And you start doing that consistently, well, it will affect the way he treats you. It will, because then there'll be times when he could do something good for you, and he's actually going to think, you know what, nah, fuck it. There's going to be times when, I don't know, he's maybe going to go to a party with loads of hot girls, and he's like, should I invite this guy here? Can't really be bothered. It will affect it. It will. So, there we go, today's Daily C. Make sure you treat people freaking well, because it actually does affect you. And also, I'm gonna show you a trailer for my book, Death of the Ego. And if you would like to maybe buy the book and support a brother, please do so. Oh, and also as well, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on SoundCloud, please do subscribe. Ta-ta, see you later, and here's a trailer for Death of the Ego.
Robert Anthony Kelly fought hard to maintain his composure as he felt a jolt of adrenaline burst across his chest. Today was the day, the big day. All of the long, laborious years of preparation, planning and strategizing were now about to culminate in this very moment, and that thought sent shivers of excitement throughout his entire body. He had her. He finally had the little bitch, and now she was about to receive the divine retribution that Robert and his followers knew she and the rest of the sinful heathens of the world sorely needed. Brianna was a world-renowned platinum-selling recording artist, and for reasons that were completely lost to Robert, the idol of millions. He spent years watching her meteoric rise to fame, watching her forge a multi-million-dollar career from spitting right in the face of all he held holy and moral. She made sexually explicit music videos in which she wore the most indecent of tight, figure-hugging outfits that literally left nothing to the imagination, and sang songs with lyrics that Robert knew for a fact would have made the people of Sodom and Gomorrah regurgitate their lunches. He hated the little whore and everything she stood for. Every time he saw a young girl singing her songs or imitating her lewd dances, he found himself trapped between the urges to weep to God in the high heavens and scream raw, blue, bloody murder to Satan for bringing this filthy harbinger of perversion into the world.
Where is the morality on this planet? And what's happened to decency and self-respect? Don't people realize that the pursuit of base desires like sex, money, and material goods that nobody needs are the direct route into the lake of fire rather than the eternal bliss of the kingdom of God?
These thoughts consumed his mind on an hourly basis. Robert Anthony Kelly detested Brianna and everything she stood for. He was deeply ashamed of himself for the feeling she stirred within him whenever he saw her. He cursed himself each time he felt his heartbeat begin to quicken and sweat start to gather on his brow at the sight of the filthy whore and her sinful ways. He was a decent man, a God-fearing man, a man of honour and integrity, and he was doing his utmost to cleanse himself of his innate human wickedness and become spiritually pure. This dirty hussy was symbolic of a world that seemed hell-bent on not allowing him to achieve that goal. He found physical pain to be a calming influence when the impure thoughts began to work their way into his mind. At first, he would pinch himself until he drew blood, or perhaps punch himself in the face, but those methods eventually lost their potency, so he graduated to lacerating himself with the sharpest instrument he could find to hand. His arms and legs were covered with the scars he gave himself as a penance for his weaker moments, and they were a cause of unbearable shame to him. As a result, he always wore long-sleeve shirts and jumpers to hide them from the world, regardless of how hot or cold he might feel.
Please, don't hurt me, I'm begging you. I'm fucking begging you. Please, just let me go.
Brianna's anguished and tear-drenched words brought a true shine to Robert's heart as he heard them. He looked down at her crumpled and beaten form as she sat chained against the cold steel wall and felt a surge of pride overwhelm his senses.
I will do anything. I will do anything. Please just let me go.
The blood and broken tissue that filled her throat and mouth made it hard for Robert to understand her words, but he got the gist of what she was saying.
I'm sorry, my child. Truly I am. Believe me when I say that what is about to happen to you is not born of a personal vendetta,
he said, lying through his teeth.
What happens next comes only for the public good and for no other reason. I promise you that.
At this moment, Brianna began to wail and sob uncontrollably. It was a heart-wrenching cry of someone who knew that they were truly doomed and had lost all hope for their situation. It was the cry of a lost soul who at that very moment knew that they were heading into their final minutes of existence with no loved ones by their side. As she lay on the floor, involuntarily voiding her bladder and soaking her blood and sweat-stained rags with her own urine, Brianna gave the type of wail that would have made almost anybody weep with her in sympathy. Robert Anthony Kelly, on the other hand, smiled wryly with a deep sense of satisfaction. He hated the stench of the whore's urine on the steel floor, but he truly loved what it represented, so he found himself unsure of whether to cover his nose with his cardigan and mask the odour, or breathe in deeply from his diaphragm to savour every inch of the sweet smell of victory. He was taken aback slightly when Marta approached Brianna from behind him and rocked her jaw with a devastating right hook before demanding that she keep her blasphemous, heathen mouth shut. Robert admired Marta. He loved her very, very much, in fact. Unlike the whore, who lay whimpering in a crumpled heap on the floor before them, Marta was a demure and God-fearing lady of class and sophistication.